Hello and welcome to the online judge training video for the Minnesota Urban Debate League. In this video, we will talk about what to expect in a debate round as a judge, how to respond to problems during a debate round, and how to set up a judge account. First, we're going to talk a little bit about what policy debate is. Policy debate is an activity in which two teams, one affirmative and one negative, debate about a specific issue. Each team is generally made up of two students that take turns speaking during the round. We'll go over the structure of a debate round on the following slide to give you a better idea of what that looks like. Judges are responsible for deciding who wins each round based off of who provided better evidence and better arguments. And the topic being debated this year is criminal justice reform. This chart outlines how a debate round is structured. It shows you the order of the speeches that will be given and how long each speech lasts. You as a judge are in charge of keeping track of the speech times and stopping the students when the time is up if they don't stop themselves. The cheat sheet document emailed to you details this structure as well, if you'd like to follow along there. I like to think of a round as being divided into two parts. The first part is shown in yellow and orange on this chart, and the second part is shown in green on this chart. The first part of a round consists of constructive arguments and cross-examinations. One student will first give a constructive argument, which is a presentation of their case through the reading of evidence. And after each constructive argument, the other team will conduct a cross-examination by asking questions about what was just presented. Typically, one person is speaking during each speech, but students may ask you if they can tag team during a cross-examination. This is when both students work together to ask questions, and that's okay to do if you're okay with it. Students go back and forth between the constructive arguments and cross-examinations until each student has gotten the opportunity to take part in each type of speech. The second part of the debate consists of rebuttals, which are labeled in green. This is when each student has the opportunity to summarize the most important parts of the debate and explain why their team should win. Now, on top of the speeches in the table, each team is also allowed 5 minutes of preparation time. This is time they can take to talk to their partner, make a plan. This can only be used in between speeches, not during, and the students will tell you when they need prep time and when they're done using their prep time. Prep time is 5 minutes for each team, and although prep time can be used all at once, students will usually break it up throughout the round. So your responsibilities as a judge are outlined on the judge responsibilities document that was emailed to you. In short, once you're in a round, you will introduce yourself and have the students do the same. You will then lead the round. I like to use my cheat sheet to announce what is about to happen before beginning the timer for each speech. For example, I might say, all right, we're starting with the first affirmative constructive. You have 4 minutes. You can start when you're ready. And when the speaker begins their speech, I begin the timer. When the time is up, I say, time has ended, great job. Next is the cross-examination. You have 2 minutes when you're ready, and so on and so forth. And while students are speaking, it's a good idea to take notes about what the students are doing well as what they can improve upon on the online ballot. And we will talk about that shortly. Now, once the students finish their debates, you will decide who wins. You'll fill out the online ballot, and then you'll spend a few minutes telling the students who won the round, your RFD or reason for decision, and telling each team what they did well and what they can work on for next time. And finally, you'll submit your ballot online and go into your next round. Next, I'd like to talk a little bit more about judge expectations. First and foremost, we'd like everybody to be aware of implicit bias while judging. Implicit bias is when we have attitudes about people without realizing it. It's a natural thing we all do We like to share some common implicit biases in the debate world with judges, just so more of us can be aware of them, mindful about them during rounds so we can prevent it from happening. While judging, keep in mind that in debate, females tend to receive more negative comments than males about their clothing and the pitch of their voice. These are things we do not take into consideration in debate. Females also tend to receive more negative comments about aggression than males. Also, teams that are dressed in nicer clothing or maybe have nicer looking Zoom backgrounds or no technology issues during a round may also be scored higher. And finally, people with accents tend to receive lower speaker points. So these are some examples of things that should not affect judging decisions during a debate round. Overall, remember that the students you'll be judging will take your comments very seriously, and they will be looking to you as a role model. So just be the best educator that you can during a debate round. In addition to being aware of implicit bias, I'd also like to touch upon the sensitive nature of the topic this year. Discussions in your debate rounds may be triggering to students, which means students may become stressed because of a traumatic memory that they have. And because of this, camp teachers will be talking about this with students and teaching skills such as self-awareness, self-care, and how to respond to conflict, in hopes that this will give students the tools and the practice they need to respond to a trigger in a healthy way. There are a few things you can do as a judge to be on the same page as everybody. First, do the very best you can during a round to create an environment that feels welcoming, supportive, and safe for students. If during a round you notice an argument is getting a little too heated and somebody is losing their cool, please either ask the students if they would like to, or just announce that you're going to take a quick 3-minute break to turn off or leave your cameras, regardless of where you're at in the round. The students know that this may happen during a round and should know about some self-regulation skills they can use to calm down if needed. Also know that students can request a break if they'd like to. Sometimes it's not very obvious to an observer that somebody is being triggered. So if a student asks for a break, allow it. And finally, if an incident does take place, please let a staff member know just so we can check in with the student afterwards. So to sum this section of the training up, when you are in a debate round, you'll first introduce yourself. You'll then listen to the debate, make sure to keep track of speech times, prep time, and take notes on things students are doing well, things they can improve on. And while you're listening, be impartial. Try not to bring your own personal opinions about the topic into the round. And remind students that mistakes are okay, especially if they're clearly looking nervous. Once they are done debating, score the students based on how well they told the debate story. So how well they brought the affirmative arguments together with the negative arguments to explain to the judge why they should win the round. And then give the students their feedback. And then you will submit your ballot online and move on to your next round. And if you have any problems or questions during the round, please contact a camp staff member. Okay, moving on to the second part of our training. In order to judge at an online tournament, you will need to sign up for a judge account. To do this, go to www.tabroom.com and navigate to Sign Up in the upper right-hand corner. You'll then enter your information under where it says non-MSDA members and click on Create Login at the bottom. Once you do this, you should be brought to your account page. You won't be able to do very much on the site at this point because you need to be granted judge access by the UDL. To gain access, please email udlvolunteers@augsburg.edu in bold on this slide to let us know that you created a Tab Room account, and when emailing, let us know what name and email you used when creating the account so we can find you in the system. Once we have granted you access as a judge, your screen should look something like this initially. And then on the day of the tournament, students will be paired together for their debate rounds. And once this happens and the tournament is about to begin, your screen will look something like this. You will see the student names and the little green Start Round button. Once you are at the tournament and ready to start, that's when you can click the Start Round button and you will be brought to your online ballot. Here is what the online ballot will look something like. First, I'd like to point out the timers you see on the right side of the page. The first timer on top allows you to keep track of each speech, or if you prefer to use your phone or a timer you have, that's okay too. And the two timers below allow you to track prep time for each team. You'll see each of those timers has the team name above, so you don't forget which is which. And Tab Room should save these times throughout the round. As the debate round progresses, you can work on filling this ballot out. To do this, look for where it says General Feedback, and then click on the tabs with the team members' names. You can write feedback for each team in the box provided at the very bottom. I usually write all of the students' names at the beginning of the round with a colon, and then enter feedback as I think of it during the round. Just make sure to do this for both teams by navigating between the tabs. Now, once the round is over, you will decide who won the round. At this point, you will want to fill out your reason for decision in the last tab under General Feedback. Your reason for decision should be just 2 or 3 sentences that explain overall why you chose the team you did to win the round. You'll also see at the top of the page that there's a space to enter the number of speaker points you'd like to award to each debater. You can use the rubric document that was sent to you via email to determine how many points to give to each speaker. Finally, to the right of where it says "Win Goes To" written in red towards the left, you'll choose the team that won from the drop-down box and mark if that team is AF for affirmative or neg for negative. And the low point win box can be checked if the team with the lower number of combined speaker points ends up winning the round. This can happen especially if it's a close round, but generally the team with the higher combined speaker points ends up winning the debate round. Once you are finished with this ballot, you can hit the blue Submit Ballot button and you'll be returned to your home page. If you have another round to judge, you should see another Start Round button for the next round you'll be judging. And at this point, you start the process all over again. Thanks for taking the time to watch this video. To confirm you saw this video, please send the phrase "red race car" to the volunteer email udlvolunteers@augsburg.edu, along with any questions you have. You can send this along with your email letting us know that you've signed up for a Tab Room account if you'd like. And also, if you have any questions, another option is to come to the competition a little early, sign in a little early, and then you can ask your questions over video before the rounds begin. Thank you so much again, and we look very forward to seeing you at the virtual tournament.